Predator: Killer of Killers just released on Hulu this weekend and follows three of the fiercest warriors in human history that become prey to the ultimate killer of killers. I'm gonna stop wasting time by saying that this is my favorite Predator movie. I was excited to review this film from the moment it was announced, because I found out that Dan Trachtenberg, the director of Prey, was returning to direct this, along with Predator: Badlands that releases later this year. Predator: Killer of Killers is a masterpiece in animated anthology that reinvents the Predator franchise by blending sci-fi horror with historical fiction. Directors Dan Trachtenberg and Joshua Wazin made this film feel like what two stoner comic book nerds who were fans of the books and lore came up with in their grandma's basement after eating pizza rolls. And I mean that as the biggest compliment ever, and what makes this film feel like what differentiates itself from a lot of other franchises where it's like, yeah, let's just give what the fans want. Producing this as an animation meant they were able to go all out with their crazy ideas, with some of the fan fiction / fantasies suddenly coming to fruition. It's packed to the walls with non-stop badass action. The art direction is distinctively gorgeous with painted textures, and the fight sequences are imaginative, gory, and overall just satisfying. Although sometimes irregular frame rates can be a bit distracting, and the overall caliber may not hold up against powerhouses like Arcane in the Spider-Verse movies, which felt like a lot of inspirations that came from that. But this is a minor issue, all things considered. But I'm glad they took the animated route, because there's three different stories that they're working with three different characters where they mesh together by the end of the film. One story in particular with the samurai, which I thought was pretty cool, where there's like no lines of dialogue, and also like things in the animation during the battles that just look a lot visually beautiful in animation form. And the film offers a fresh perspective for each of these predator hunters, and it's not like their stories are all one and done. All of their stories have meaning at the end of the film when all these characters team up together and they utilize their skills to help each other battle these predators. And I really loved how they broke each of their stories into like these like chapters almost. We have the Shield, when a Viking warrior named Ursa embarks on a revenge mission with her son, only to face a deadly predator. And then we have the Sword in 1609 Japan, when a samurai brother confronts his sibling in a battle for succession. And I noticed during that Sword arc, where the predator is just like in the background for most of it, and he doesn't really show up until the end. But the story is so good in that, with those arcs between the siblings, where it's like, man, you don't even need the predator in there. But the predator that just drops down from the beams that he's watching these two siblings fight just made everything just much more better and bigger scale, and it was just freaking epic. Then we have the Bullet during World War II, when a US Navy pilot named Torres encounters a mysterious aerial threat, leading to a confrontation with a predator. And speaking of the predators, they look freaking sick. There's even that one at the end of the film who's like the main predator, who wears a jacket made of xenomorph tails. As action-packed as the film is, the pacing still manages to be cohesive to the narrative and does a good job at finding a way to get the audience sucked into these stories while also giving all these characters heart. And as much as I love the previous films in this franchise, I don't think any of them come close to the brutality and action in this. Everything just ups the ante, whether it's the blood or the gore. There is by far the best kills in the entire franchise. I don't think I've ever seen this much decapitations in any other film. I'm telling you guys, it's brutal. Now, I love how Trachtenberg, just like in Prey, places his stories and characters in different eras of history. I think that's where the character of Predator works the best, and it proves it again here in Killer of Killers. This really does feel like a mix of Love, Death, and Robots and God of War, with a dash of Mortal Kombat for those brutal bits. And honestly, it works, and I can't believe they pulled it off. If you thought this animated movie was a one-off side story, think again, because by the time the credits are rolling, your jaw will hit the floor, and fans will be salivating over where the franchise will turn next, with this anthology proving to be better than some of its counterparts, and Predator: Badlands now becoming more significant than ever. The future is bright for the Predator franchise, and I am desperate for the next hunt. Predator: Killer of Killers is getting a 4.5 stars out of 5. Thank you guys as always for watching. I look forward to bringing on more videos pretty soon. Did you watch Predator: Killer of Killers? What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and like. I'm Matt, and I'll see you guys in the next video.